The stars were quiet, deep in Sector 9 of the Kalos Nebula. The Empire's patrol ship Ironhawk moved through space like a shadow. Commander Bren sat in his chair, watching the sensors. His crew was small, only 6 people, but they were trained and alert. "Clear skies so far," said Lena, the young sensor officer. Bren nodded. "We finish this loop, then head back to the outpost." The patrol had been long and boring. No pirates, no smugglers, no strange activity, just silence and starlight. But something changed suddenly. A light appeared near the edge of the nebula. It was not a star. It was not a ship. It pulsed slowly, like it was breathing. "Commander, I'm picking up something," Lena said, her voice shaking. Bren stood up and walked to her station. "Put it on the screen." The front view lit up. A dark shape floated in space, just beyond the thick clouds of gas. It was not made like any Empire ship. No markings, no heat signals. It was smooth and long, with sharp edges and a strange, glowing core at the center. "What is that?" Bren asked. "No idea," Lena said. "It just appeared. I checked the logs. It was not there 5 seconds ago." "Is it moving?" "Negative. Just holding position." The rest of the crew gathered around. They stared at the screen, unsure of what to say. "Tried to contact it." Bren ordered. Lena opened a wide-range signal. "Unknown vessel. This is Empire Patrol Ship Ironhawk. Identify yourself." No response. "Repeat it," Bren said. Lena sent the message again. Nothing came back. The ship did not move, but the light from its center pulsed faster now. "I'm getting strange readings," Lena said. "Our sensors are bouncing back. I can't scan it fully." Bren turned to the weapons officer. "Are our shields up?" "Yes, sir," the officer replied. "Weapons ready, but not locked." Bren didn't want to fire. Not yet. They didn't even know what they were looking at. Then, in a single blink, the ship vanished. It didn't jump away. It didn't turn invisible. It simply disappeared. 1 second it was there. The next, it was gone. The crew fell silent. "Replay the footage," Bren said. Lena pulled up the recording. The strange ship appeared, hovered for 32 seconds, then vanished. The signal logs showed nothing. No warp trail. No energy burst. Just a hole in the data. Bren looked at his crew. "Send this to command. Full report. Mark it top priority." "Yes, Commander." The rest of the patrol was quiet. Everyone was shaken. No one spoke much. They returned to the outpost, and the message was sent to the Empire Command Center. But days passed with no reply. Then a single message arrived from Central. "Your report has been received. Stand down." No action required. That was all. Bren read the message 3 times. No action. That thing was real. We all saw it. He went to the comm room and sent a private message to someone he trusted. Her name was Mira. She worked in Research Station 42, a quiet place where old tech and forgotten signals were studied. She was young but smart. She loved strange puzzles and unexplained signals. When she got his message, she answered right away. "I believe you," she said. "You do?" "I've been tracking odd readings for a few weeks," she said. "Little spikes in signal data near that nebula. Most people ignore them. But I knew something was there. I just didn't know what." "I need help," Bren said. "My crew saw the ship, but command told us to forget it." "Typical," Mira said. "They fear things they don't understand." Bren sent her the sensor data, every detail, every frame, every reading. She worked on it for 2 days. Then she called him again. "There's something hidden in the wave pattern," she said. "It's not just light, it's a signal. But it's not an Empire code." "Then what is it?" Bren asked. Mira paused. "It's close to old Terran." Bren frowned. "Terran? Humans? That's impossible. The Empire wiped out the human systems long ago." "That's what they say," Mira replied. "But the signal structure, the rhythm, it's human. At least part of it." Bren sat back in his chair. The idea made him uneasy. If humans survived, he said, "What are they now?" "That ship was far beyond anything the Empire has," Mira said. "If humans build it, they're not the same anymore. They evolved, they adapted, they hid, and they waited." Bren stared at the dark screen in front of him. "What do we do?" he asked. "Nothing for now." Mira said, "Let me study the signal more. Don't talk to anyone else about this. If Command finds out, they may silence you." Bren knew she was right. The Empire was built on control. Truth was dangerous. That night, he stood alone in the observation room of the Iron Hawk. He looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, a ship had appeared and vanished like a ghost. It had left no trace, only questions, and deep down, Bren felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear, but also wonder. He didn't know what was coming next. But whatever it was, it would change everything. Mira sat alone in her lab at Research Station 42. Her screen showed lines of strange code and signal waves. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of machines and the tapping of her fingers on the keyboard. She had been working for hours, eyes fixed on the screen. The signal from the strange ship was still a mystery, but there was something inside it, a pattern, a voice trying to speak through time and space. She leaned back and stretched her arms. "This isn't random," she whispered to herself. Someone wanted this to be found. Her small lab was full of old signal devices, translators, and broken parts of past missions. Most people at the station worked on simple things like cleaning sensor data or cataloging space dust, but Mira had always chosen the strange tasks. She liked digging into the forgotten pieces of space. Now, for the first time, she felt that all her strange work had a purpose. She opened the old Terran language file from the restricted archive. She wasn't supposed to have it, but she had copied it months ago during a system glitch. Most Empire researchers didn't care about old human languages. They believed humans were gone. But Mira always had doubts. She ran the unknown signal through the Terran filter. The computer beeped. Some words appeared on the screen. "We remember." Mira froze. Her heart beat faster. She checked again. Yes, the match was strong. Not perfect, but clear enough. She added another layer of decoding. More words began to show. "We see thin nothing." The rest of the signal was too broken, too complex. But those two phrases stayed on the screen like a warning. "We remember." Mira saved the translation and locked the file. She knew this discovery was dangerous. The Empire had erased most of the history about humans. They said humans were weak, unfit for space. They told people that the human race had been removed long ago for the good of the galaxy. But what if that was not true? What if humans had survived? And what if they had grown stronger in secret? Mira turned on her secure comm line and called Bren. On his ship, his tired face appeared on the screen. "I found something," she said. Bren leaned closer. "What is it?" "The signal from that ship. It's human." Bren was silent for a moment. "Are you sure?" "Yes. The words are Old Terran. The message is short, but powerful. It says, 'We remember. We see.'" Bren looked around before speaking. "I showed your earlier findings to one of my crew. He thinks we should report it." I told him no. Mira nodded. "Don't send anything to Command. They'll bury it or send people to erase the truth." "I believe you," Bren said. "But what now?" "I need more data," Mira replied. "If the ship sends another signal, I want to be ready. We need a better sensor, one that can track long-range signal echoes. There's an old listening post near our patrol zone," Bren said. "It's been shut down for years, but I think we can power it up." "That could work," Mira said. "Send me the coordinates. I'll meet you there." Bren agreed. They ended the call. Both of them knew this was risky. If anyone found out what they were doing, they could lose everything. The next day, Mira packed her tools and left Research Station 42 on a small private ship. She told her team she was taking a short leave for health reasons. No one asked questions. It took her 6 hours to reach the listening post. It was hidden inside a dead moon that orbited a quiet gas giant. The post had not been used in over 20 years. The Empire had closed it after saying it was no longer useful. But Mira knew old machines still had life in them when she arrived. Bren and his crew were already there. They had cleared the dust and powered the core systems. "It's not much," Bren said, "but it still works." Mira smiled. "That's all we need." They connected her equipment to the main signal dish. She tuned the sensors to the frequency of the strange ship's signal. The machines hummed and blinked. Data flowed across the screen. For ours, nothing happened. Then, late at night, a faint signal appeared. Got something, Mira said. Bren rushed over. The signal was weak, but real. It followed the same pattern as before. But this time, there were extra lines, new symbols, another layer of code. Mira worked fast. Her fingers moved over the keys. The screen flickered, then showed new words. This is not your spot, Chato. Not come closer. Bren stared at the screen. Is that a threat? Maybe, Mira said. Or maybe it's a warning. The message repeated once, then faded. Mira saved the full signal and shut down the connection. This changes everything. Bren said, I know, Mira replied. The ship is watching, maybe waiting. But it doesn't want contact. Bren sat down. He felt the weight of it all. A mysterious ship, a signal in a lost language, a warning from a race believed to be gone. We can't tell anyone, he said. Not yet. We don't even know what this means. Mira nodded. We wait, we watch, and if the ship comes back. We try to learn more. Outside the window, stars filled the sky like tiny fires. Somewhere in the endless sea, the strange ship was still out there, watching, waiting, and to people alone in a forgotten station. We're the only ones trying to understand it. Inside the quiet walls of the old listening post, Mira sat with her eyes fixed on the screen. She had read the strange message again and again. This is not your space. Do not come closer. She could not stop thinking about what it meant. It was not a direct threat. It felt more like a warning, like a sign placed before a dangerous road. Bren walked into the room holding 2 cups of hot brew. He handed one to Mira and sat beside her. Any new signal? He asked. Mira shook her head. Nothing since last night, just silence. Bren looked at the old walls of the post. It had once been a proud place. Now it was forgotten. Just like the truth they were starting to uncover. I keep thinking about what the Empire told us. He said that humans were weak, that they fought against the Empire and lost, that they were a race for causing disorder. Mira turned toward him. But if that story was true, then what is this ship? Where did the signal come from? Bren leaned forward. I want to know everything, not just what they teach us. I want to know what really happened to the humans. Mira took a deep breath. Then we need to search the hidden archives. Bren frowned. You mean the black vaults? They're sealed. Not all of them, Mira said. There's a secret network. A few scholars saved pieces of old history before the Empire erased them. I've been collecting files for years. She opened her tablet and typed in a code. A folder appeared. It was marked Shadow Records. Bren watched as pages of forgotten text, maps, and pictures came on screen. Some were damaged, others unreadable. But some were clear enough to tell a story. Look at this, Mira said, showing an old map. These were human systems before the Empire arrived. Bren looked closely. There were more than I thought. Humans spread far in a short time. Mira explained. They were fast thinkers, creative. Some systems resisted the Empire. Others wanted peace. But the Empire saw them as a risk. She showed him another file. It was a broken video with faded sound. A human man stood before a group, speaking in an old Terran dialect. Mira added subtitles. We will not go quietly. We will not vanish. If the stars must hide us, so be it, then. The video ended. This message was sent during the last human resistance, she said. After that, most records were destroyed. Brent sat in silence. So they didn't all die, no. Mira said, some vanished. Ships disappeared without a trace. The Empire believed they fled into deep space, too far to follow. They were forgotten. Brent stood up and walked to the window. Outside, space stretched like a sea without end. They had time, he said, if they escaped. They had centuries to grow stronger, to build in secret. Mira nodded. And now, maybe they've returned. Brent turned back to her. Why now? Mira thought for a moment. Maybe we got too close. Maybe someone from the Empire entered space they claimed long ago. Or maybe they're watching us. To see if we've changed, Bren frowned. But the Empire hasn't changed. It still controls by fear. It still hides truth. They sat in silence for a while. The air in the station felt heavy with old secrets. Mira broke the silence. There's something else. She opened another file. This one was a technical report. It showed designs for an unknown ship, drawn by an Empire scout years ago. The scout had found the broken piece of a vessel near the edge of the galaxy. He had drawn it by hand before the piece was taken away. Mira pointed at the sketch. This design matches the ship we saw. Bren looked closely. But this is dated 30 years ago. Yes, Mira said. They saw something back then too. But they buried the report. It never reached the public records, so the Empire knew. Bren said quietly, "They've known for years." Mira closed the file, and they chose to hide it. Bren stood up. "We need to do something. The people should know the truth if we speak out now." Mira warned, "They will silence us. They'll say we're lying or send enforcers. Then we need proof, solid, clear proof that no one can ignore." Mira thought for a moment. There's one way. The signal we recorded came from the ship. But if we can trace the source more accurately, we might find its origin point. "You mean where the humans are now?" "Yes," she said. "Or at least where they're watching from." Bren looked at the old signal dish. "Can this station do it?" "It needs an upgrade," Mira said. "But I have the tools. I can modify the sensors. If the ship appears again, we can trace its jump path. Then let's do it." Bren said, "We find out where they went and what they've become." Mira smiled. "We're chasing ghosts, not ghosts," Bren said. "Just people who were forgotten." Together, they began working. The machines in the station came back to life as Mira adjusted the systems. Bren helped carry tools and connect old cables. The quiet place became active again. Hours passed. Days too. They ate simple meals and rested only when needed. But they didn't give up. On the fifth night, Mira picked up a trace, a faint signal. Echo. It matched the human pattern. Bren checked the coordinates. It's coming from deep space, a region outside all map systems. Mira looked at him. "We have a lead." They knew they could not follow it now. The Empire would notice a ship going that far. But the path was clear. The forgotten humans were out there watching, waiting, and maybe preparing for something the Empire could not stop. The station lights blinked red. Warning tones echoed across the control room. Mira sat upright, heart pounding. She checked the screen again. "It's here," she whispered. Bren rushed in. "The ship?" Mira pointed. "Same signal pattern, same energy spike. It appeared in Trade Route 6. That's a major route. Thousands of ships pass through there every day." Bren stared at the map. The mysterious ship had returned, but this time, it did not appear in a quiet corner of space. It had come to a place everyone could see. Mira zoomed in. The ship floated right in the middle of the trade path. Empire cargo vessels stopped moving. Civilian transports froze in place. Every ship around it lost power. "This isn't an accident," Bren said. "It wants to be seen." The live feed from nearby satellites showed it clearly. The same sharp shape, the same silent presence. Its core glowed softly, but no weapons were active. "There are no signs of attack," Mira said. "No damage, just frozen ships." "It's like it's controlling the space around it," Bren said, without touching anything. They watched as a small Empire cruiser approached the unknown ship. The cruiser stopped mid-flight, unable to move. Then, after 10 more seconds, the mysterious ship vanished once again. Power returned to all ships, engines restarted. But no one moved. "This would cause panic," Bren said. And it did. Within hours, news of the event spread across the Empire. Every communication channel, every space station, every colony talked about it. People wanted answers. Command said nothing. Then came a short, cold message from the Empire's top leader. "We are investigating. There is no danger. Return to order." But people were not calm. Many remembered the stories, old stories about humans. Some laughed at them. Some whispered them in fear. Bren and Mira knew they had to act fast. "We need to talk to someone who was there," Mira said. Bren nodded. I know a trader who flies that route. His name is Rami. I'll send a message. Rami was an old friend of Bren. He had seen many strange things in space. He replied quickly and agreed to meet at a small refueling station away from Empire Eyes. 2 days later, Rami arrived in his beat-up ship. His face looked pale. I saw it, he said the moment he stepped out. I was 5 clicks away. My ship just stopped moving. All systems failed. No warning. No noise. Mira asked, "Did it attack anyone?" "No," Rami said. "But I felt something, like it was looking at us. Not just the ships, at us, like it could see inside." "Did it say anything?" Bren asked. Rami shook his head. "Not in words, but I heard something, not with my ears, but in my mind. It said, 'Go back.' That's all. Just those 2 words." Mira looked at Bren. Same message as before, a warning. Rami leaned closer. "That wasn't a ship from this side of the galaxy. That was something else, something old, something patient." Bren placed a hand on his shoulder. "Thank you, Rami. Be careful. And tell no one about this meeting." Rami nodded and left quietly, back at the listening post. Mira replayed the satellite data. She focused on the energy field that stopped. "The Empire cruiser. There's no weapon signature," she said. "No attack pulse. It just stopped the systems like flipping a switch." "Could we do that?" Bren asked. "No," Mira said. "Not even close. The Empire's top ships needed minutes to shut down an enemy vessel. This ship did it in seconds, without damage, without touching." Bren stood in front of the large display. "The Empire teaches that strength is control. But this ship doesn't destroy. It shows power without violence." Mira said softly, "Maybe that's what real strength is." Suddenly, another message came through their secured channel. It was from an unknown source. Encrypted, but not Empire code. Mira worked quickly to unlock it. The message said, "We're watching. Your kind once burned stars to prove power. Now you repeat the path. We will not let it reach us." Bren stepped closer. "That's not just a warning. That's judgment." Mira saved the message. "They see the Empire as dangerous. Maybe they remember the past too well. If they're this powerful, why haven't they destroyed us?" Bren asked. "Because they don't want to destroy," Mira said. "They want us to stay away." "But how long will they wait?" Bren asked. "The Empire will not stay quiet. They're already moving ships, preparing for something." Mira looked at him. "What if the Empire sends a fleet to chase them? Then there will be war," Bren said. "And we will lose," Mira added. Bren sighed. "I need to warn someone." "Who will listen?" "Who?" Mira asked. Bren paused. "There's one old admiral I trust. Her name is Delia. She retired last year. But she always questioned the Empire's truth. She may help. Then we need to reach her now," Mira said, "before things get worse." They prepared a secure package. All signal data. All messages. Full satellite footage. In their theory, humans had returned, evolved, and now watched from the edge of known space. They sent the message to Admiral Delia's private line, using a hidden relay. Then they waited. A full day passed. Then a reply came. Delia's voice played through the speaker. "You are not wrong. I have heard whispers of this for years. I never thought they would return. I will meet you. Come to Outpost 7. Bring all your data. We must act before the Empire does." Mira looked at Bren. "She believes us." Bren smiled. "Then we are not alone." They packed everything and prepared their ship. The stars outside looked the same, but something had changed. A silent ship had appeared in the busiest part of the galaxy and vanished again. No shots were fired. No ships were destroyed. But the message was louder than any war. The humans had returned, and the Empire would never be the same again. The small ship carrying Mira and Bren moved steadily through space. Their destination was Outpost 7, a remote base where Admiral Delia lived quietly after her retirement. But Two knew this meeting could change everything. The Empire was already on edge, and the mysterious ship's message made things worse. Mira checked the data again. The signal from the ship was still fresh in her mind. It was not just a warning, it was a message from a race long believed lost. The words echoed inside her thoughts. We remember the Empire. We see what it has become. Do not come closer. As the outpost came into view, the ship's metal surface reflected the distant stars. Outpost 7 was old but well maintained. It floated near a small moon. Hidden from busy trade routes, it was a place for quiet plans and secret talks. When they docked, Admiral Delia was waiting. She was a tall woman with sharp eyes that had seen many battles and political games. Despite her years, she carried herself with calm strength. "Welcome," Delia said as she shook their hands. "I have read your message. This changes what we know about the galaxy." Brent nodded. "We have proof now." The ship appeared again. It stopped Empire ships without firing a weapon. It sent warnings in an ancient human language. Delia frowned. Humans are not supposed to exist anymore. The Empire erased them long ago. Mira answered, "That is what the Empire wants everyone to believe." But they did not disappear. They survived in secret. They have grown powerful. Delia took a deep breath. "This means the stories we heard as children are true. Humans were not weak. They were hunted. They escaped and hid. But they never forgot." Mira opened her tablet and played the encrypted message again. "We found this message hidden inside the signal." Delia listened carefully. "We remember the Empire. We see what it has become. Do not come closer." Delia's eyes softened. "This message is not just a warning. It is a reminder. The humans remember the pain caused by the Empire. They see how far the Empire has pushed. They do not want to fight, but they will protect themselves." Bren looked out the window. "The Empire is preparing to send fleets. They see this as a threat to their power." Delia nodded. "And they are right to fear. The humans are stronger than ever. The Empire's control is built on fear and lies. But the humans have something the Empire lost long ago: hope." Mira leaned forward. "We need to find out where the humans are now. If we can reach out peacefully, maybe we can stop a war before it starts." Delia smiled slightly. "I have contacts. Old friends who still listen to whispers beyond Empire control. They may help us." She gave them coordinates for a hidden relay station near the edge of the galaxy. "Send your messages through there. Be careful. The Empire watches closely." That night, Mira and Bren worked with Delia to prepare a new message. It was a simple offer. "We come in peace. We want to learn. We want to understand." They sent the message using the secure relay. Hours passed with no reply. Mira felt the weight of silence. Was this the end? Had they pushed too far? Suddenly, the screen flickered. A new signal arrived. The message was short but clear. "Your offer is seen. Trust is earned." "Wait," Bren smiled. They responded. "This is the first step." Delia stood and looked at the stars. The humans have not forgotten the past. They remember the pain of war and loss. But they also remember hope. Mira asked, "What do we do next?" "We prepare," Delia said. "The Empire will not give up easily. But we must show that not all fear is a threat. Some fear is a chance for change." The days passed slowly. News of the mysterious ship spread beyond Empire borders. Some colonies whispered of hope. Others feared destruction. Bren and Mira stayed at the outpost, working with Delia to gather more information. They studied the signals, watched the skies, and waited. Then, one evening, a new message came. This time, it was longer and clearer. "We do not wish to fight, but we will defend. The Empire must change or fade. The galaxy belongs to many, not just one. We watch, we wait. Peace is possible only if respect is given." Mira read the message aloud. "They want respect, not war." Delia nodded. "Respect is the key. The Empire has forgotten that." Bren looked at his old friend. "Can the Empire change?" Delia smiled softly. "It must, or it will lose everything." Outside, the stars shone bright and silent. The galaxy was wide and full of unknown paths. For the first time in centuries, hope returned to the dark corners of space. The humans had returned, not as enemies, but as watchers and teachers, and the Empire's future was no longer certain. The news of the mysterious ship's second appearance spread fast. The Empire was shaken. For the first time in decades, fear touched even the highest leaders. The message from the humans warned of change and respect, but the Empire did not like. Change died in the grand halls of the Imperial Command Center. High-ranking officers gathered. The Emperor's voice was cold and firm as he spoke. We cannot allow this threat to grow. Prepare the fleet for defense. We will show the humans the strength of the Empire. But behind closed doors, many officers whispered doubts. Some feared the humans more than they feared the enemy fleets beyond their borders. The message was clear. The humans had power beyond weapons. They could stop ships without firing. They controlled space itself. Commander Bren watched the reports from Outpost 7. He had sent all the data to the Empire, but his trust in the system was low. He knew the Empire might start a war it could not win. Mira sat beside him. The Empire is ready to fight, she said quietly. But do they understand what they face? Bren shook his head. No, they see strength only as weapons and armies. They don't see the power in peace and knowledge. Suddenly, the Empire fleet received a message from the mysterious ship. No words, no threat, just a single image. It was a quiet reminder. The image showed a destroyed Empire cruiser, broken in half. No explosion, no fire, just silent ruin floating in space. The message was clear. The humans had power that could end a war without fighting. The fleet froze. No one moved for minutes. Then, in a small border system, a patrol ship tried to test the humans' power. It moved close to the edge of the area where the ship was seen. The patrol ship stopped. Systems failed. No weapons, no engines. The ships. Captain, Lieutenant Sala, sent an urgent call. This is Patrol Ship Echo 1. We are disabled. Request immediate backup. Within seconds, the patrol ship was destroyed. No explosion. Just a silent disappearance. The Empire fleet received the news. Panic spread fast. Colonies far from the center started refusing orders. They feared the humans more than the Empire's own leaders. Some sent secret messages asking for peace with the humans. In the middle of this chaos, Bren and Mira received a call from Admiral Delia. The Empire is breaking, Delia said. Some leaders want war. Others want peace. But the people are scared. Bren sighed. What do we do? Delia paused. We find a way to stop the fighting before it starts. If the humans want peace, we must show the Empire that too. Mira said. The humans said, peace is possible only if respect is given. Maybe we can start with respect, Delia agreed. We need to send a message. One that shows the Empire can change. They worked through the night. Mira wrote. A message that was simple and honest. We hear your warnings. We want peace. We will respect the humans and ask them to respect us. War will only bring ruin. Bren and Mira sent the message through the hidden relay to the humans. Days passed. No answer. Then, a new message arrived. This time it was different. The humans sent images of their home systems. Beautiful planets with cities shining in the dark. No warships, no weapons, just life. They sent a message. We are not your enemies. We protect what we have. We offer peace. But we will defend if needed. Bren looked at the images. They want peace, but they are ready to fight. Mira nodded. We must convince the Empire to listen, to change. But change was hard. The Emperor refused to back down. He ordered fleets to prepare for battle. He wanted to show strength. But many in the fleet refused. Some secretly helped Bren and Mira. They believed peace was the only way. Small groups of soldiers and officers started talking about ending the war before it began. One day, the Empire fleet faced the mysterious ship again. But this time, the ship did not freeze their systems. It sent a message instead. Do not fight. The galaxy is large enough for all. Let us find a new way. Bren smiled. This is hope. Mira reached out. We will keep trying. For peace. The Empire was divided. But the humans were clear. They remembered the past. They saw the present. They wanted a future where many could live free. And for the first time, the stars felt quiet. Not because of fear, but because of hope. The stars stretched wide and endless outside the window of Outpost 7. Commander Bren and Mira stood together, watching the galaxy's quiet beauty. For months, They had carried heavy news and heavy hopes. The Empire was changing, but slowly and unevenly. Admiral Delia sat nearby, reading the latest reports. The message from the humans had reached many places now. Some leaders listened, but others still clung to old fears. Bren broke the silence. Do you think the Empire will ever truly change? Delia sighed. Old ways die hard, but sometimes they die on their own. Mira looked out into space. The humans never wanted to fight. They just reminded us that power is not only in weapons or armies. It is in respect and understanding. Suddenly, a signal appeared on their screen. The mysterious ship was back. It sent a clear message, stronger than before. This galaxy is not yours alone. We will not allow another purge. The message echoed in their minds like a promise, not a threat. A promise. Bren felt a strange calm. The humans are here to change the galaxy, not to destroy it. Days passed. The Empire's power began to crumble, not from outside attack, but from inside fear and loss of trust. Many planets stopped obeying orders. Governors declared independence. The once mighty fleets found fewer and fewer ships ready to fight. The Emperor's voice grew weaker. His commands were ignored by many. The old Empire was breaking. Bren and Mira traveled from system to system, speaking quietly with those willing to listen. They shared the humans' message and their own hope for a new future. At a crowded spaceport, a young pilot named Yarrow approached them. I heard your words. I want to help. The Empire's way is ending. Bren smiled. We need people like you, people who want peace. Yarrow nodded. The humans taught me that courage is more than fighting. It is standing for what is right, together. They worked to spread hope across the stars. Meanwhile, the mysterious ship appeared one last time. It did not stop ships or freeze systems. Instead, it opened a wide communication link. The ship's voice was calm, full of wisdom. We have watched the Empire fall. We did not bring the fall. Fear and pride did. But from the ashes, a new galaxy can rise. Bren asked, what do you want from us? The ship replied, respect, understanding, a chance to build together. The galaxy belongs to many, not one. We offer friendship. Tears filled Mira's eyes. After all this time, they offer peace. The Empire, broken and lost, had no choice but to listen. Slowly, leaders met with the humans. Old fears melted as new hopes grew. The galaxy began to change. New alliances were formed. Old enemies became friends. The humans shared knowledge that helped heal worlds and build new homes. Bren stood with Mira on a new space station, watching children of many races play. He smiled. We almost lost everything to fear, but in the end, we found hope. Mira looked at the stars. The humans never forgot. They watched and waited. Now, they help us see a better way. The galaxy was no longer ruled by fear. It was ruled by respect. And for the first time in many centuries, peace shone bright.